Good morning, students. Welcome back to today's lecture. Previous class we have discussed about the cell theory and cell structure. Today's class we will discuss in details about modern cell theory and its merits and its demerits. Okay, in previous classes we have studied that Seldon and Swan propose the cell theory, which is not sufficient enough to describe a cell completely. Okay, for this Rudolf Virchow in 1858 proposed another theory to describe the cell. That theory is known as your modern cell theory. Okay, the modern cell theory, modern cell theory. Okay, we will start from today. That is your modern cell theory. Who proposed the modern cell theory? That is Rudolf Virchow proposed the cell theory. Okay, in 1858, Rudolf Virchow proposed this theory. Okay, which theory? The modern cell theory, not the cell theory. Okay, this theory of modern cell theory is based on the the cell lineage theory, which is called as your omnis cellula cellulae. Okay, it is based on the cell lineage theory, that is come from omnis cellula cellulae, which means that cells arise from pre-existing cells. Okay, Rudolf Virchow proposed that the cells arise from pre-existing cells. Okay, this modern synthetic theory or modern cell theory, this modern cell theory is known as cell principle or cell doctrine. Okay, this modern cell theory is known as your cell principle or cell doctrine. Okay, the modern cell theory came into existence by the improvement of highly magnified microscope. Okay, the modern cell theory is also known as your cell principle or cell doctrine, and modern cell theory is possible only after the invention of magnified microscope. What do you mean by magnified microscope? Magnified microscope is that which is having higher resolution. We can see smaller things in that microscope. Okay, then note it down these 2 points about the modern cell theory. Then we will start the main features. What are the main features of modern cell theory? We will start. Okay, now we will discuss about some Important features of modified cell theory. First is your cell is the basis unit of life. Cell is the basis unit of life, and living organisms, all living organisms have cell and their products. In second point, we have cells are also structural unit. Cells are also structural unit of life. Okay, cells are the basis unit of life, and all living organisms. Which are living organisms? The plants, animals, and microorganisms which are having cell, they are included in the living organisms. Okay, they are having the cell and their products, and cells are also structural unit of life. And next, each living cell having a protoplasm. Okay, each living cell having a protoplasm. Protoplasm is living, which is present inside your cell, and inside the protoplasm there is presence of nucleus, which is surrounded by plasma membrane, Okay, each living cell having your definite protoplasm which is living, and inside the nucleus there is presence of nucleus and several cell organelles which is surrounded by your plasma membrane. Okay, suppose this is your cell. Okay, this is your cell, and this is your nucleus, and this is your outer covering, that is your plasma membrane, and inside which there is presence of several cell organelles. Suppose this is your plasma membrane, this is your nucleus, okay, inside which the living fluid is known as your protoplasm. Okay, note it down, these 3 points. Okay, next point is your cell is also a unit of reproduction, function, inheritance, and disease. Okay, cell is also a unit of reproduction, function, inheritance, and disease. Okay, then what do you mean by inheritance? Inheritance means transfer of character, or we call it as trait. Okay, transfer of character from parent to offsprings. offsprings or daughter. Okay, the cell is also a unit of reproduction, function, inheritance and disease. Inheritance here, you know, transfer of one character from parent to their offsprings. Okay, then next another point is your cell always arises from pre-existing living cells by which method? Cells arise from pre-existing living cells which are present before inside the living cell arises by your division method. Okay, by cell division. It may be mitosis or meiosis, which we will discuss in details in future. Okay, then next one is your cells function independently. Cells function independently. Okay, cells can function independently, but cell organelles can't do so. Okay, cells function independently, but say if we remove suppose this is your cell. Okay, these are some cell organelles. Okay, these are your some cell organelles. Cell independently function, but if we remove the cell organelles from the cell organelles cannot function independently. Okay, that's why cells are functional along with all cell parts and also its outer membrane. Okay, these are some points. Okay, note it down, then we will discuss another points. Okay, next point is your the cell belonging to diverse organism, and also different parts of same organism. Okay, same organism have similarity in their structure, chemical composition and also metabolic activities. Okay, if we consider about diverse organisms, if we consider about plant, if we consider about animals, in every cases we have the cells. Various cells have their similarity in structure, chemical composition and metabolic activities. Okay, it also seen in case of, if we consider in case of plant, if we have stem, if we have leaf, if we have root, then all the cells present in stem, leaf and root, they have similarity in their chemical composition, structure and metabolic activities. Okay, this point describes that. Okay, then next point is your the activity of cell, the activity of organism depends upon the activity of organism depends upon the sum total activity of all its cells. Okay, if we consider the function of a plant or animal, then we consider the sum total activity functioned by our all cells. Okay, this is known as your the activity of organism. Okay, then next point is your the cells can modify itself according to cell can modify itself according to its requirement. Okay, according to its requirement. Okay, for example, I am writing the example here. Okay, for example, case of RBC, there is absence of nucleus. Okay, in case of RBC, absent of nucleus, our muscle cells is elongated. Okay, then skin cells are present which are having without cytoplasm. Okay, according to the requirement, cells can modify, which are example in case of RBC, you know, red ball corpuscle which are present in our body. Here absent of nucleus. Then muscle cells, we are having the muscle cells which is elongated, and skin cells. Okay, skin cells is without cytoplasm. Okay, next, now wrote down the points, then we will discuss the next points. Okay, next point is your each cell maintains its individuality and also it maintains a specific environment and homeostatic condition. Okay, homeostatic condition. Okay, each cell maintains its individuality and maintain a specific environment inside the cell. Okay, and homeostatic condition. What do you mean by homeostatic? That is known as your equilibrium condition. Equilibrium condition. What is that? It can maintain its internal temperature. Cell can maintain its internal temperature. Okay. The next point is your the growth of cell is given by the growth and division of cells. Okay, how will you know the cell are growing? If we consider the cell growth is in case of the plants, animals, it is like the growth occurs by division inside the plant cell or animal cell. Suppose if you consider a small plant which is very small initially after germination, but it slightly grows up. Why? Because the cells are growing by division. Okay. Next point is your life passes from one generation. Life passes from one generation to other by living cells. Okay. Life passes from one generation to other by living cells. The new cells or the daughter cells are similar, having genetic material, Okay. The life passes from one generation to other generation. Okay. The daughter cells which is produced from the parent cells are similar in genetic material and also similar in genetic material and also their structure. Okay, similar in genetic material and also structure. Okay, similar in genetic material and structure. That is, if a daughter cell is produced from a parent cell, the cell resembles with that of parent cell in genetic material and also structure. Okay. Then note down these points, then we will discuss about the next points. Okay, next point is your genetic information which is present inside DNA. Okay, genetic information which is present inside DNA is stored and expressed in cells. Okay, in previous character we have discussed about the genetic character which is transferred from the parent to their offspring. Okay, from which that genetic character comes? The genetic character is present inside your DNA and it is stored in your cell. Okay, and expressed inside there. Okay, next point is your sometimes cell may undergo definite modification, or you can say change shape, which have not having all the characteristics of cell. Okay, sometimes cell may change their shape. Okay, in that time the cells may not have the all characters the normal cell are having. Okay, then next point is your sometimes cell may die. Okay, cell may die. Okay, you all know after the death the cells are becomes unfunctional, but in some cases cell may die and become but still remain functional. Okay, still remain functional. We can say the example is your horn cells in animals, and xylem cells in plants. Okay, these are two basic examples, that is your horn cells in animals and xylem cell in your plants. Xylem is present inside a plant which helps in water absorption. Okay, it absorbs the water from the soil which is present in root. Okay, xylem mainly helps in water absorption. Okay. Then these are the main features of the modified cell theory. Then we will discuss about the merit and demerits of cell theory. Note down these points. Okay, then come to your merits of cell principle. Okay, I have forgotten that nucleus that is inside is your present inside your protoplasm is discovered by Robert Brown in 1831. Okay, nucleus which is present inside your protoplasm is discovered by Robert Brown in 1831. Okay, next come to your merits of cell principle. Okay, cell principle, or we call it as cell doctrine. Okay, cell doctrine is applicable to all living organisms. Okay, cell principle is applicable to all living organisms. It may be plant, it may be animal, or it may be microorganisms which are having the cells. Okay, next one is your cell principle features. Cell principle features includes all the findings till date about who is the cell. Okay, that's why cell principle is far more acceptable or is better than the cell theory as proposed by whom? The Selden and Swan, and cell principle is proposed by Rudolf Virchow. Okay, these are the main two merits of cell principle. That is, one is it is applicable to all living organisms, plant, animal, and microorganisms, and all the features rectify your cell findings. Okay, note down these 2 points. Then we will discuss about demerits. Let's discuss about some exceptions of cell theory. We discussed 2 points about the merits of cell theory, then exceptions. Okay, first is your viruses, which we have discussed in 5 kingdom classification. Viruses having no cellular component. Okay, if this is not having any cellular component, then it is not included in the cell theory. That's why it is exceptions of your cell theory. Then next is your bacteria and blue green algae. Bacteria and blue green algae, or we called it as cyanobacteria. We called blue green algae as cyanobacteria are having no membrane bound organelles. No membrane bound organelles. If we consider about bacteria and blue green algae, that is your cyanobacteria, then there is absence of membrane bound organelles, cell organelles, and also nucleus is not surrounded by your membrane. Okay, so these are two main characteristics, that's why it is not included in your cell theory. Then next one is your some protozoans are acellular. Then next one is your some fungi like rhizopus. Okay, some fungi like rhizopus having multinucleated cell. Okay, the fungi having, that is the rhizopus having multinucleated cell, that is a cell having more than one number of nucleus. That's why this condition, this multinucleated condition is known as your cenocytic condition. Okay, that is known as your cenocytic condition or multinucleated condition in fungi. Normally we have different cells with single nucleus, but in case of fungi, a single cell having more than one nucleus. Okay, wrote down these 4 points, then we will discuss about other points. Next point is your in connective tissue. In connective tissue, there is presence of a non-living substance. What is that non-living substance? That is your matrix. Presence of a non-living substance. Non-living substance. What is that? It is your matrix. Inside this matrix, there is presence of living cells. Okay, that's why it is not follows the cell theory. Then next one is your in RBC, that is red blood cells and sieve tube cells. That is in RBC, which is present in case of animals, and in sieve tube cells, which is present in plants. Absence of nucleus and other cell organelles and last point is your protoplasm is replaced by non-living cells. Is replaced by non-living cells in skin and cork cells of plant. Okay, these are the main features. Note down the exceptions of cell theory. Okay, by this we have completed the today's class. What we have studied such vehicle? We have studied the cell theory, its modified cell theory proposed by Rudolf Virchow, its main features. What are the main features of modified cell theory and what are the merits and its exceptions? Okay, cell theory, modified cell theory is applicable to all the cells till now the cells have discovered. Okay, in the next class we will discuss about the definition of cell and different types of cell, that is a prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Okay, till now today class is over. See you in next class.